Hey guys, it's Anissa. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am doing my shop my stash for the month of May, but not only am I shopping my stash, I'm also decluttering. I did a lot of reorganizing because my collection is growing. I do not only need to get rid of stuff that I'm not using, but also make room for new stuff. If that sounds like something you guys would enjoy, then make sure to keep on watching. But before we go any further, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I post on this channel once a week, so you never have to miss me for too long. Let's just go ahead and get into it. This is the drawer from the past month, and let me say, I really feel like I use the crap out of these products, so I'm very excited to get new products because honestly I'm kind of sick of them. This is why I can never have a small makeup collection, because I just get too bored. If you are new here, this drawer is where I keep my drugstore makeup, and then that other drawer over there is high-end makeup, and then I store my palettes on the top. My drawers are organized in the order that I do my face. We're just gonna start with the primer drawer. I'm kind of decluttering and switching out my products at the same time because quite frankly, my drawers are getting kind of full. I will take this time to mention any favorites that I had this month. Next, bear with me, one of my favorites, so that's no surprise. I felt like these two were very similar. I felt like the NYX Plump Right Back was actually a little bit stickier than this was, but these are great hydrating gel-based primers. This really grew on me. So when I first tried this, I really did not like it because it is a lotion texture. And since I do have oily combo skin, I really do prefer something that has a gel water-based type of formula, but this is actually very, very smoothing. So I did change my thoughts on this. Too Faced one also is very, very nice. This one is actually the thinnest one in formula out of everything that I tried. As I am picking new products for this month, I actually have two drugstore primers that I'm gonna declutter. First one is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer, and then the second one is this Neutrogena Matte Primer and Serum Shine Control. They don't sell this anymore, and usually I only keep things that are discontinued if I'm like in love with this, and this is all right. I actually think that the new formula, the Power Grip Primer, is much better. I've only tried this once, but it really did not do much of anything for my skin. It did not mattify whatsoever, but it did have a nice thin formula, but it doesn't do what it claims to do. So I'm gonna probably try this one more time in my full face of getting rid of. This one is kind of hard, guys, because I have really been holding on to this product. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I'm actually gonna get rid of this because I like the pop formula better, and I feel like it's a little excessive for me to have both if I like one more than the other. I really am super familiar with all these. Like, I love all of these primers that I have. e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. This stuff is so mattifying, like more mattifying than high-end primers that I have tried. Your oil is going to have a really hard time breaking through your makeup with this. A dupe for the Milk Makeup, the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer. I feel like the Milk Makeup still is a little bit better because the Milk Makeup is a little bit more hydrating than this. I have 5 more Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I always keep the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in my drawer because it's one of those products that just works with everything. This one to me is a little bit more glitter shimmer heavy than the Charlotte Tilbury one. The Charlotte Tilbury is so finely milled that it just gives you such a glow, and this does as well, but it's more apparent that there's shimmer in this. I feel like if you are somebody that has texture, you're going to like the Charlotte Tilbury because it's not going to accentuate your texture as much. This is going to do that. I am so freaking excited. She is coming out of retirement. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, one of my favorites. I mean, I can just try as many dupes as I'd like, and nothing hits the same as this. And I haven't allowed myself to pull this in like a good 5 or 6 months because I just love it that much, but I'm gonna behave myself. This product I've only tried once. It is brand spanking new. This is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. I have been very, very impressed with Hourglass lately. I just tried the Liquid Vanish Foundation, and their foundation stick is one of my favorites. Unfortunately, in the video that I used this in, I think the products I was using just weren't working together, so I couldn't see how this worked. So I'm gonna try this with some other products and see what I think. This is also another favorite, SMASHBOX Photo Finish Primerizer. This is a mini version of it, leaving your face feeling hydrated and just ready for makeup. Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer. This reminds me a lot of the One Size Beauty primer because they're both kind of more like gelish based. They're very nice, but it's just a very, very unique texture. Ready to move on to eye primers. I'm not going to talk about the eye primers that I pulled because they are already some of my favorites. This month, I'm actually going to pull quite a few because I have accumulated a lot of eyeshadow primers that I like, but just are not that girl. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. It's okay, along with the Milani Eyeshadow Primer and the Morphe Eyelid Translucent Primer. Now, usually I do lean more towards colored eye primers. I just get more out of them. The only clear translucent eye primer that I really like, NYX Proof It Waterproof Eyeshadow Primer, actually say saved, but I think I may end up getting rid of again. e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer in the color Clay. This is really nice, but I found that it dried out very quickly. Spray setting spray or eye drops in it and it refreshes it. I really have only used this once or twice. This is the Sephora Beauty Amplifier eyeshadow primer. I think that this is similar to the NYX Proof It, but I need to confirm again because I try a lot of makeup and I've forgotten. This is also something that I think has a little bit of pigment to it. I don't remember. I think this is a little bit more tacky, sticky. ALAMAR PRIMERO Primer Longwear Sticky Pigment Base. Yes, okay, I swear I didn't read the label when I said that. That's just what I remembered about it. Those are the 6 that I'm gonna try for this month. Technically, we're doing primers, but before I forget, I do wanna mention all of the eyelash stuff that I bought. I have had eyelash extensions for about 2 years now, and I have never really played around with strip lashes. I have been shopping around for a couple different types of strip lashes that I think I will like, and I also bought 2 different types of glue that I want to share with you guys. If you have recommendations as far as lashes go, please leave them down below because I am a girl lost in a new land right now. These seem to be the most 2 popular ones that I had heard about. One on the top is the Duo Brush On Adhesive Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive. So far, I have only bought these 3, which is very impressive. Oh my gosh, it's so weird to see these lashes on camera because I just do not do this. Lashes in a box in the style 30. Like, they're just so pretty and wispy and long. I was trying to go for a look that is very similar to the lash extensions that I have now. So my lash extensions now are very long. They're very wispy. I like them long throughout. I really am not a huge fan of short to long. Clearly these are short to long, but I mean like drastically short to long. I like length throughout. Guys, are these not gorgeous? These are the Ardell 3D Faux Mink lashes, number 858. At first, I thought that I had bought these twice, like the ones I just showed you guys, but these are different. These are the Ardell Faux Mink 811s. They all have really thin bands because I've heard that thin bands look more natural and they are easier to apply. Guys, doesn't that look so much better? Now we are going to move on to foundation. Guys, just wait. I am always so embarrassed by my high-end foundation drawer because she's a mess. Before I pick new ones, I am gonna go ahead and empty out 2 foundations. One with Beauty Flawless and Real Life Skin Perfecting Foundation, and I have this in the color Brown Sugar T1. I just need a different color. This is the first foundation that I have ever had that I just cannot make work, no matter how much I mix, no matter how much I do anything. This is kind of hard for me, guys. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. The reason I'm getting rid of this is because I definitely like the CC cream over the foundation. I'm not gonna go through all these foundations because I swear I thought I tried these more than I did. These are all the ones that I just did not try enough this month. Listen, I was watching a video about this foundation the other day and I was like, I swear I bought that, but I guess not. It's right here. It got buried. I just haven't tried them enough this month. I really love all of my drugstore foundations. My high-end drawers are a different story, so we're gonna leave this the way it is. Now we're gonna go over to the high-end side. Hello, talk about overwhelming. So it's really hard for me to let go of my high-end foundations because I pay so much for them. These are the only 3 new ones, I think. Bite Beauty Changemaker Supercharged Micellar Foundation. Go ahead and mention this one as well. Cover Effects Custom Cover Drops. Actually, in the video before this, I used this combo and oh my gosh, my skin looked so good. Like, I'm kind of afraid to try these separately because they're just that good together. They're a power couple. One size Turn Up the Base BBB Cream Beauty Blur Balm. This was okay. The reason that I keep all of these high-end foundations is because there is something about them that is different than drugstore. They have a like outstanding factor that just makes them that it girl. This was just very average for me. I know I said I wasn't gonna pull anymore, but I literally have only used this once. Flawless Conceal the Deal Longwear Full Coverage Foundation. Much better. Now is concealer. Let me tell y'all, I've got to talk about some of these concealers because boy, oh boy, did they pop off. These were the concealers that I pulled, all of them. I am so in love with all of them. Like, I have mixed and matched pretty much all these together and did every combo that I can imaginable, and all of these are great. So just go ahead and screenshot and you can buy everything that you see. Hot concealer will actually be rather easy this month because I do have 2 new ones. Glossier Stretch Concealer in the color G5. This was very, very creamy when I tried it. Look at this big boy. Makeup Revolution Conceal and Fix Ultimate Coverage Concealer in the color Deep Tan. This stuff is so heavy duty. I think I'm gonna love to use this when I haven't cleaned my brows up in a while because it's just so thick and good at laying pulling down brow hairs. And usually the two words concealer and thick don't go together, but when you're trying to conceal brow hairs, they do. I do have 4 new concealers. LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer in the color Suede, ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer, and I used this with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer in the color 18. These two together were just so creamy and full coverage and skin light. I really don't remember what I thought about this one. OYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. I was just talking about how good I thought Hourglass was, so I thought it was only appropriate to pull this Hourglass Vanish Concealer in the color Flax. When I say I could throw every other concealer that I have away and be okay with this, I mean it. Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the color Butterscotch. These are 2 full coverage drugstore concealers. I was very, very surprised by this product. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer in the color Deep 23. I was not expecting this to be good, and it is. It kind of has more of a semi-matte, natural matte finish. It's not super glowy underneath the eyes, but it has very good coverage. Essence Camouflage Plus Matte Concealer, number 70 Dark. It looks like I only have 1 new powder from the drugstore. Went ahead and just quickly organized all that, which I think looks much better. I have all loose powders right here, loose powder overflow, and then the rest of my pressed powders. This is the drawer over here though. She needs help. I have some very honorable mentions from my drawer this month. Makeup Forever. This loose powder is very, very similar to the Huda Beauty loose powder in the sense that it has such good coverage and it gives color. Very nice full coverage powder. It's not cakey feeling and it comes in a lot of good colors. This is the first drugstore pressed powder that I've tried that is actually translucent. Like, it's not going to give any flashback or anything like that. This is actually very similar to the Makeup Forever loose powder. I was actually very pleasantly surprised by this. This is the Rare Beauty setting powder in the color Medium. It sets your face, but it still gives you kind of a glow because it doesn't mattify you all the way. This was very, very nice when I was using more mattifying concealers, because I found that sometimes if you use a very, very matte powder with a very, very matte concealer, it looks kind of powdery. So I really, really think that this is a good essential. Urban Decay All Nighter Loose Powder. I don't know what else I was expecting considering I love the setting spray, but this is also a very good translucent powder, colorless, good at filtering. Since I talked about those, now we're going to talk about what I'm pulling for this month. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Loose Setting Powder. The reason I want to go ahead and try this is because I have 2 other loose setting powders that are translucent from the drugstore that I really did not use a whole bunch last month because they're not the best. And honestly, I just should probably get rid of them, but I want to compare these 2. I really just want to have one good loose translucent setting powder. The 2 that I'm talking about, I did not even touch these last month and I pulled them. This first one is the e.l.f. HD powder Hard Candy Translucent Sheer Envy Loose Powder. I just honestly am scared to try these because the first time I used both of these, they had a little bit of a white cast, but I held onto them because I was like, well, I don't have anything else from the drugstore. So I'm really hoping that I like that Wet n Wild one. That way I can get rid of these 2. I have only used this powder once. This is the Black Opal True Color Oil Absorbing Pressed Powder in the color Caramel Crush. This actually gave a really good amount of coverage. I used this in my last video because the foundation I used was a little bit too light, the liquid one. So this powder is like my perfect color. Again, I am wondering if this is going to be a good touch-up powder because it does say that it's oil absorbing. High-end powder that I'm thinking about emptying. Ciate Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. I feel like high-end products should have a standout quality about them. So I don't even remember how I feel about this. It was tucked back in the back of the drawer, so we're gonna use this. I used this in my last full face of first impressions and was very, very impressed. Tarte Shape Tape Setting Powder in Translucent. This just did such a good job at smoothing, and this was a little bit more mattifying. I don't hear anybody talk about this, which is so surprising because it's in the Shape Tape family, and Shape Tape is very, very well known. So I'm surprised that I have not heard many people talk about this. This is a staple product for me. MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation in the color C8. I have a couple different colors in this, but I'm just gonna pull this one because I found that this is my best match. I would not use this with a full coverage liquid foundation because this is very full coverage. This is something that I would use with like a light to medium liquid foundation. I have only used this product once or twice. This is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Invisible Silk Loose Powder. I have been loving the liquid foundation and the concealer, so I'm really excited to try this a little bit more. Another product that I forgot how I feel about, this is the Dragon Beauty Translucent Setting Powder in the color Invisible. This drawer is probably the most chaotic. This has blush, highlighter, and bronzer in it. We're back over to the drugstore side. quickly just went ahead and switched the organizers that I was using for my lips and my cheek drawer. I think that this looks a little bit more condensed and it's gonna give me a little bit more room to put my palettes in here. Now I need to go ahead and do the same thing over in the other drawer. I went ahead and reorganized everything, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand in the color Moonbeam. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite thing, and compared to some of these other cream bronzers that I have, this does not even compare. So it's not that it's not good, it's just not my favorite. This one is hard for me because I'm also gonna declutter this. This is the Carity, the Contour Kit, the second collection. The colors in here are very nice. I especially love this highlighter. But I've had this in my drawer for like 3 months now and I have not reached for it. And I'm a lot more picky with powder bronzer over cream because I really prefer cream over powder. So if I have a powder bronzer, I really want to make sure that I like it, and I just don't reach for this. Y'all, this Tower 28 Beach Please Lip and Cheek and Power Hour, literally so beautiful. It's buildable, more of a brownie nude, which I love on my skin. It's not going to pull your makeup off from underneath. All right, I'm gonna start with palettes. I'm pulling 3 for this month. ColourPop Such a Rush Cheek Palette. I really just need to be picky with these because my problem is I always really love the highlighter, but then I don't use the other colors, especially if it's a highlighter slash bronzing palette. For me, it's really more about formula. I want something that's very easy and blendable to work with. I was so impressed by this palette when I used it in my last video. Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Face and Eye Bronzer Highlighter Palette. You can use this as an eyeshadow palette, a bronzing palette, and a highlighting palette. Very, very versatile. The mirror is very nice. The formula on these bronzers, when I used it, so creamy and blendable. Now, I have tried these single powder bronzers, but I really didn't like the color. So I was kind of worried that I wouldn't like this color, but I mixed these two together, and I think that this color kind of helped balance that one out, and it just gave the most warm look to my cheeks. It wasn't super harsh, very blendable, wasn't patchy. Lighting Hour highlight and blush palette. I'm really excited to use this because I think this is something that I'll reach for, because not only do I like the highlights, for my 2 blushes, Pure Matte Blush in the color Blushing Act. This is one of my favorites of all time. The way that they panned it is so unique. It's kind of like splotchy. The formula is just so buttery and smooth, and I love this color. Just bought this product recently, Notoriously Neutral. So again, a more like kind of brownie type of pinky nude. I've got 3 different highlighters here. So first, I haven't used this one in a hot minute. Juvia's Place Tribe highlighter. This is what it looks like. I don't know why it keeps trying to go out of focus, but it's very, very beautiful. I wanted to pull a liquid highlighter because I haven't used this one in a while. Iconic London Illuminator in the color Original. This is the very first liquid highlighter I ever tried, and I must say she is stunning. Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow highlighter. This is what it looks like. So super stunning. So stunning that it won't even focus. Also decluttering this product. This is the Black Radiance Press Powder, and I have this in the color Ebony. Just don't ever reach for it that much. I'm also going to declutter this, guys. I'm on a roll. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the color C18. Now, I actually did buy this in my shade to use underneath my eyes. The thing about this is that it dries so quickly that you don't really have a whole lot of time to blend it out. These are the 2 cream bronzers that I'm actually going to be using this month. Pink Honey BFF Bronzing Face Frosting, and I have this in the color Peanut Butter. I think that I need a darker color in this, but I'm gonna see how it works. I don't know if this is something that I would like repurchase in a deeper color. Milani Supercharged Cheek and Lipstick Bronze Voltage. This is a very, very glowy formula, but it's very, very creamy. We're gonna move on to lips. I know that I want to pull this Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. This is in the Original scent. I am not going to be using this when I go to sleep. I have heard that people love to use this underneath lipstick or just wear it as a lip balm because of how moisturizing and long lasting it is. And the formula on this is actually a little bit thinner, so I'm looking forward to that, especially during the daytime. I'm gonna get rid of this KAB Cosmetics Lip Oil, the color Juicy Melon. For me, there's certain things that you just do not have to spend a lot of money on to get good quality products, and lip products is one of those things. Now don't get me wrong, I love my Dose of Colors and I love my Over Cosmetics, but something like this, like ELF, NYX, so many brands make good lip gloss, lip oils, whatever. I do want to go ahead and pull this Patrick Ta Monochrome Moment Silky Lip Cream, a liquid lipstick, but it doesn't dry down. She's confident. I actually think that this is a little bit too light on its own, but I want to see how it would be paired with like a really nice dark brown. I think that would give me the perfect color, which I do all the time. Also, what I like about that product, I almost emptied it, but if y'all know, I'm a super big sucker for like mint tea tree oil, and that has like a little bit of a minty smell, so it feels really cooling on the lips. MAC lipstick, this is in the color 815 Paramount. It's more of like a ready tone, something that I wouldn't go for every day. And it's so funny because whenever I put colors on like this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it. But then I don't. I love my nice nudes, but colors like this I really do like. MILANI Matte Lip Crayon, and this is in the shade So Obsessed. This is more of also like a ready type of nude. Oh my gosh, the formula on this is so creamy. It's not drying. Maybelline Sensational Matte Lipstick, and I have this in the color More Truffle. I haven't used this but 2 or 3 times. Also think I've only used this gloss once. UOMA by Sharon C Floss Gloss High Shine Lip Gloss, color Edible. So this is actually a really fun color because it's like a mix between a brown and a red, which sometimes if I think my lip look is too pinky, I will top it off with something like this to get it to that brown that I want it to. Then we've got 3 lip pencils, ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the color BFF3. This is a really nice muted neutral brown that I love to pair with another brown lipstick, or again, like if I think something is a little bit too pinky, I'll pair it with this. Something just to complement that MAC lipstick. This is the SOFX Revolution Lip Liner. Glide On, Glide On, Stay, and definitely a turn on waterproof extreme lip liner in the color Intimidate. This is actually the only lip liner formula that I like from NYX. I think all the other ones are just too drying for me. The lash drawer, which is eyes, eyeliner, eye pencils, eyebrow pencils, brow pomades, mascaras. I do have 2 honorable mentions from last month. This first one is the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel in the color Deep Brown. I did not think that I would like this as much as I did. I thought it was just going to be like another kind of traditional brow gel, but what I like about this is the wand is super small, so if you're somebody like me that has kind of thinner brows, very easy to fill in. It has a perfect amount of pigment, fiber-like formula that makes it look like your brow hair. So it's not only pigment, but it actually gives a little bit of dimension. Clinique Bottom Mascara. This is the first official bottom mascara that I have tried, and I can see that how it can seem very redundant to some people to use like a top mascara and a bottom mascara. Well, right now I'm not using a top mascara because I have lash extensions, but those are coming off in about a week, so I will start to use 2. But I love the fact that this is so tiny because you're able to coat those super tiny lashes that you have on the very inside. I've got 2 mascaras for this month. So this first one is a new one that I've only tried once, Dragon Beauty Explicit Mascara, and I'll just show you guys what the wand is like. I bought this because the lady at Morphe said it's supposed to be really good for the lower lashes. I really am pulling this because I want to see how this does on my top lashes specifically. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I tried to pull 2 of everything, that way I didn't do too much. I've only used this one once, I believe. This is the Too Faced Super Fine Brow Detailer, and I have this in the color Espresso. This is a drugstore brow pencil. This is the Beauty Creations Brow Definer in the color number 5. I've got 3 brow pomades because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting rid of one of these, and I'll start with that one first. This is the Cara Beauty Brow Pomade in the color Ebony. It's just a little bit too dry. You think your brow pomade is drying out a little bit, you can use eye drops or you can use a hydrating setting spray, but it shouldn't always be drying. Like, that is a recommendation for something that you've had for a while. Also an old school favorite. This is the NYX Tame and Frame Brow Pomade in the color Espresso. I love this because it kind of has more of a like moussey consistency. Benefit Pomade Brow Pomade in the color number 5. Honestly, this is good, but I don't like this as much as I like the brow pencil. Only on the ABH one specifically for dupe purposes. But this is good. It's creamy, but there's stuff like it at the drugstore. But that doesn't make it not good. For liner, I have this baby one, KVD tattoo liner, and I just got a mini one. This one, I also want to see if I want to declutter e.l.f. eyeliner pen. This is also a very good brow gel. This is the Juvia's Place Eye Sculpt Eye Shade brow gel, and I have this in the color Ebony. Very pigmented, but it's also going to hold your brows in place. I accidentally bought 2 of these without knowing it. This is the ColourPop Brow Gel, Boss Brow Gel in the color Black, another liquid liner and a pencil liner. This is the Sephora 12-Hour Colorful Contour Eye Pencil in the color Tiramisu. Y'all, when I tell you how creamy these are, it's not even funny. I don't know how I feel about this, and I don't know if it's because it's brown liner or if it's the formula. This is the Sephora Waterproof Brush Tip Liquid Liner in the color Cup of Joe. It looked beautiful with the look that I did with it, but I don't know. I just, whenever you do different things, like, you gotta feel it out. So that's where I'm at right now. This is the finished result of what my drawers are looking like. Y'all have no idea how excited I am to have fresh products in here. Excuse how I look, guys. It's been rough. I just finished school last week. That is the finished final product for today. If you enjoyed, lucky for you, I have a whole playlist filled with these type of videos that I will leave right up here for you guys to check out. I definitely declutter probably more than I ever have, and I'm very proud of myself. With a lot of these makeup products, I have emotional attachment. They remind me of a time in my life, or they're the first that I bought of something. So I'm really proud of myself. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.